What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest in business news for gaming, esports, and creator news. I'm your host, 𝗠𝗿𝗖. We're here for the Thanksgiving week of 2023, and let's dive right into it. For our first top 3 story, Evil Geniuses and Golden Guardians. They will be leaving the LCS, Evil Geniuses and GGS, the esports division of Golden State Warriors. They're going to leave the LCS League of Legends Esports. This comes after the termination of the two teams' third-party administrator agreements with Riot Games and has been confirmed by John Needham, president of esports at Riot Games. This means that the LCS will be an 8-team league, which Riot says will allow them to be much more flexible for league restructuring purposes. And according to Needham, Golden Guardians decided to focus more on their basketball operations, while Evil Geniuses supposedly had difficulties of their own in leadership and treatment of players. The other 8 teams reaffirmed their commitment to the league, and the announcement comes basically a day before the start of the free agency period, which hopefully means that players and staff of EG and GGS will have time to find new teams, though that might not be the case. Perhaps the LCS will see 2 new member teams in the next season, or a new format for this league, but regardless, fans will not be seeing Golden Guardians or Evil Geniuses in the LCS this year. And all in all, this brings up the larger question of how sustainable it might be for teams to look at these leagues in the future and be a part of them. As we know, the LCS is staying in existence, but the Overwatch League had lots of issues and obviously is reformatting now. Not saying that the Overwatch League and the LCS are in the same boat, but there's always that lingering question in the back of folks' mind who are looking into esports. Sony is facing a $7.9 billion lawsuit over PlayStation Store prices. As reported by Reuters, Sony must face a large lawsuit up to $7.9 billion over claims that the PlayStation maker abused its dominant market position by charging excessive prices to customers. The claims were brought by Alex Neil, a consumer advocate who's worked on previous campaigns, and ultimately UK's Competition Appeal Tribunal ruled that Sony must face this lawsuit. For reference, SIE, or Sony Interactive Entertainment, was sued last year on behalf of nearly 9 million people in the UK who bought digital games or add-on content through the PlayStation Store. This alleges that Sony requires digital games and add-ons to be bought and sold only via the PlayStation Store, which charges a 30% commission to devs and publishers. Sony's lawyers argue that the case was flawed from start to finish and said it should be thrown out. This overall seems like a redo of the Apple versus Epic Games case on similar grounds, but less of a company versus a company and more of consumers versus a company. We'll be curious to see where this one ends up. For our last top 3 story, T1 and Faker, they're just setting new esports records here. The greatest esports player of all time, Faker, he exactly showed why he and his team deserve that title at the 2023 League of Legends World Championship earlier this past week. I know it was last week, but you know, we got to talk about the viewership records and everything of that sort. The T1 and Faker, they claimed their 4th World Championship in League, spanning 10 years from the championship wins in 2013, 15, 16, and 23, which is really unheard of in esports for an org to go that long and have that long of a dynasty, essentially. I wouldn't say it's a dynasty, but they have just been able to perform at such a high level over many years, and Faker especially, right? Last year, the underdogs, DRX, they made one of the best runs in world's history by being the first team to win from play-ins, and with Faker versus Def being one of the storylines of the season, right? It was the players who went to the same high school playing the grand finals together. This time around, T1, they dominated their opposition, Weibo Gaming, in the grand finals. They won 3-0 in that clean sweep to take home that $445,000 grand prize. And not only is the storyline incredible this time, but the event took place in Korea for a home crowd of Korean fans to rejoice. And on top of that, esports charts reported this as the most popular esports event ever. 6.4 million peak viewers, 1.25 million average viewers, and 146 million hours watched across the entire event. So even if you didn't watch the Worlds, let it be known that this will go down as one of the greatest events in esports history ever. And will we ever see the 6.4 million peak viewership record broken? To be honest, I'm not sure, but Faker is the closest thing to multi-generational esports fandom that we have. Given someone who watched in 2013 and someone who watched in 2023 can still follow essentially the same player, same storyline, same team, that's pretty impressive. And I think it's folks like Faker who are not only the best players, but great talent to keep the game going and esports going in general, as many others, for an inspiration. As far as partnerships go, Riot Games, they partner with the Esports Club. This will result in a new Valorant tournament that will be called Convergence and will take place later in December in Bangalore, India, with teams like Furia, Genji, and Team Vitality already committing to participate. This will be a part of the ecosystem's off-season calendar, though the format or price pool have not yet really been revealed. PUBG partnered with MSI and Andecy. MSI will provide 80 high-end PCs and 160 gaming monitors for the PUBG Corporation tournament competitors, as well as gaming laptops for commentary and live streaming broadcasting staff, which will be a lot of hardware to provide. And Andecy will provide its range of gaming chairs for the event. So PUBG really looking to save costs on hardware here, with all of that being provided by sponsors. AFK partnered with Jesus College and Oxford University Esports Society. As a result of this collaboration, there will be an esports suite on campus, with the venue being used by students interested in esports and gaming to watch matches, play games, and meet other similar-minded folks. The opening ceremony is set to take place on December 12th. Blast partnered with Warner Bros. Avast, 𝗠𝗿 𝗖𝗶 and 𝗓𝗏. These are mostly new partners for Blast and will be integrated into the broadcast of Blast Premier Fall Finals in some way, as well as in-person activations. I'll be interested to see how these brands are integrated in person as well. Fnatic partnered with 𝗠𝗿 Analytics. Fnatic will utilize 𝗠𝗿 Analytics tools to analyze the performance of its existing partnerships across streaming and social channels. 𝗠𝗿 now works with groups like Team Vitality, G2 Esports, Blast, Crew Esports, and more. Unity has partnered with Roku. The two parties will work together to deliver a new avenue for app makers to place ads for their apps. Essentially, Roku is presented as a user acquisition channel directly inside Unity for devs to have implemented in apps to reach new TV viewers. Misfits partnered with Mars. The partnership will be focused around the Temptations cat treat brand from Mars, and while financials weren't disclosed, this might be one of the first few esports partnerships we've seen with a pet care company. Misfits will launch a set of cat-centric gaming experiences as a pilot program for Mars Pet Care. As far as finance and M&A goes, Layer AI have raised $1.8 million. The round saw participation from VCs like the Games Fund, the Game Syndicate, GFR Fund, Latent Ventures, and more, and the company will be using the funding to support the team in speeding up production time and work for its 2D art generation for mobile games. They also hope to expand to AAA games and 3D art generation in the future, as well as beyond just gaming. Ionic have acquired VR dev nDreams for $110 million. According to Games Industry Biz, nDreams co-founder Patrick and Tamsin Oluwani will remain in their positions as CEO and CPO, as well as the rest of the executive team, and they will be using the funding for future investments like third-party publishing and other studio acquisitions potentially. Togi Productions have acquired Mojikin Studio. Mojikin Studio is most known for being the creators of A Space for the Unbound, but the studio will maintain its brand under the acquisition and will work together to create additional synergies between the two companies. Godsend have added Pontus Jensen as a co-owner. Pontus is a famous Swedish footballer and joins the org as a part of Godsend's ongoing investment round. He will aim to utilize his sports experience to help scale the org and as well as grow it in the future, and will be interested to see where this takes him and the org as well. Annapurna have acquired 24-Bit Games. The South African-based 24-Bit Games will look to help Annapurna expand its proprietary tech and staff. And for reference, 24-Bit Games has worked on projects like Cocoon, Neon White, and Maquette. 24-Bit staff will operate just as it has, now just as a subsidiary of Annapurna. As far as workforce changes go, Michael Lubker joins Rafter Games as the CEO. Michael's done quite a bit in the gaming space as he's an influencer marketing manager for Big House Games and does BD for Spring Up Labs. He's among many of his roles in gaming. He's also starting up now with Rafter Games, and he's self-educated in many things gaming related, so congrats to you, Michael. Ben Colancini joins Revolution as an account manager for gaming. He was most recently a senior manager for client services at Wasserman and was the director of corporate sponsorships at Esports Stadium Arlington as well before that. He has an extensive experience in sports, doing sales for FC Dallas and the New York Mets as well, and he holds a bachelor's in sports and recreation management from Franklin Pierce University. Steven Norris has been promoted to the head of mobile ecosystem and gaming partnerships at Samsung. Steven's been at Samsung for about 2.5 years at this point and was the gaming business development lead for Europe before his promotion. Before Samsung, he spent time at Bidstack as the head of gaming and was with ESL Gaming and Google doing partnerships for gaming before. He holds a bachelor's in history and politics from Loughborough University. Bonnie Jean Mott joined Santa Monica Studio as a narrative director. Bonnie has a lot of experience in the gaming space as she was previously the narrative director for Timmy Montreal and spent a lot of time at the Coalition Studio and Relic Entertainment in the past in similar narrative roles as well. She holds a bachelor's from Simon Fraser University. Stefan Heikhaus joins German Games Industry Association as the Gamescom director. His role will be focused on the continued development of that event and sister events such as Gamescom Asia and Gamescom LAN. He has lots of experience as he was the marketing lead for Bullet Group and handled operations at Microsoft and Cisco for multiple years in the past as well. And he also spent time at Ubisoft and PlayStation, so that's where his gaming experience comes in too. He holds a bachelor's in business from the Management School of Dortmund. As far as new stuff goes, Eminem is going to partake in Fortnite's Big Bang event. Fortnite's Chapter 4 finale will take place later in December as revealed by Epic Games, and as a part of that event, Eminem will have skins in the game for players to equip during his event, as well as being part of that virtual concert. NetEase Games have launched Worlds Untold. The new Vancouver-based studio has folks that have worked on the Mass Effect series, so evidently they're knowledgeable in the gaming space, and they will focus on an action-adventure game set in the near-future world with captivating environments of mystery and exploration. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the authors and brands themselves for the images and information provided. If you want to go show some support to the Esports Advocate, I've left a link down in the comments below. And if you want to go show some support to me, either tag someone down below who'd find this valuable or share this with your audience. And as always, everybody, have a great day.